This does not look too fun. It's pretty cold, pretty windy, but we're doing it. And slowly they walked because they're not in a hurry, because it's Sunday. It's not in a hurry Sunday. I may not be in a hurry, but Steve, I think he might want to get out of the way. I think T-Rex is probably in a hurry. Yeah, I think so. Good try, Steve. All right, it's 9:30. I was kind of hoping that the wind might let up in time for me to do this today. Not in a hurry. Oh, Steve's leash came undone. Let's see where he goes. Oh boy, may have to interrupt this. What do we have here? It's literally freezing. I mean, I've said it's freezing a couple of times this week, but it actually was in the 40s. I just said it was freezing, but now it's 32, and so we got to go check the ice bucket. This is the first time we've had a freeze here in 2 weeks. Wow, we have ice. I did not think we would have ice today. Overachieving cold, overachieving wind, and this is how much rain, by the way, we've had this year. So that bucket started right around New Year's Eve or so, or just that storm we had New Year's Eve. Wow, so cold, so windy. Just before I came out, I looked at the summit of Mount Washington, and I pretty much couldn't believe it. 5 below zero. And the wind was sustained at 77, gusting to 103 miles per hour. Wind chill factor 44 below zero in New England this morning at 6,288 feet. But most of the ski lifts, I think, are running this morning. The wind is especially strong in eastern New England. So in Vermont, so pretty this morning. And it was still snowing at Mount Mansfield this morning. It was only about an inch of snow last night, but that is day 3 in a row of New England snow, and it's going to snow a little bit more tonight. And I like the webcam in Holton, Maine. The Holton, Maine 100 HUO, something like that, radio station. Really nice. Look at that old school there. It was still snowing in Holton. And the regional temperature roundup, this was about 8 o'clock. Boston down to 30 degrees, first time since March 9th, 2 weeks ago today. And in northern New England, it was calm at St. Johnsbury, but most of us, the red numbers are wind gusts. And in Brownville, Maine, the wind was still gusting to 45 miles an hour. So what happened last night? It did rain a trace here at my house with a front, and it was hardly any wind when I went in at sunset, and then it was gusting to 45 miles an hour. A front that went right across New England last night with a low pressure system developing on the front. I don't think I saw that wave, and this morning's analysis shows that it's a 998 low. And I always talk about how when lows get down below 1,000 millibars, they're usually significant. And the high pressure system's about a 1023 over Ontario, so wind is air moving from that high in Ontario to that low over the Gulf of St. Lawrence. And this is going to happen several times this week, where you're having pretty nice weather for a minute, and then all of a sudden it's windy and colder again. We've got probably 3 or 4 cold fronts coming at us this week, and 1 or 2 warm fronts too. Talk about the frequency of these fronts. It's going to come in every 24 to 36 hours. The national radar shows the snow departing Maine, and then you got snow in Minnesota, and 2 lows there. Another one in Missouri with severe weather coming out of Missouri into Tennessee and Kentucky today. And another one in the Northwest. I'm looking at the reconstruction. Oh yes, I moved those things. I moved that one yesterday, and look at it leaning with the wind, but it's still standing somehow. We'll see that in the end more. I'm trying to clean up this mess out here. And step by step, we are cleaning out the mess. T-Rex, what are you doing? You probably want to go back inside, huh? What do you want to do? You want to play? Not in a hurry Sunday. And why don't you sit in the sun? Rex, it's a lot more warmer in the sun right here. Steve's sitting in the shade watching leaves blow by. It is not an easy forecast. The next 48 hours haven't changed too much, but the long range into the April Fool's Day guess, with the Euro being warmer than the GFS. Well, the GFS last night came around. We'll get to that in a moment. Why don't we go to the NAM showing today and tomorrow? Tomorrow's looking pretty interesting. That system in Minnesota and Missouri is going to come in here as a double barrel. So there's our snow exiting on the right there, and the isobars are really tight together. That's why it's so windy. Lines of constant pressure, and then the wind does go calm this evening. We're going to have radiational cooling. So, oh, hi, Steve. Steve just ran over, so we have to say hello. You want to get on Steve's rock? And, all right, pick this back up. Tonight, radiational cooling, and so we all going to have a freeze and perhaps a frost. And then tomorrow, here comes a warm front at us, and that's snow is blue, green is rain. The initial warm front burst, snow, northern New England, rain and snow, very close to Boston, turns into rain. There's a new wave of low pressure developing on the front of the Gulf of Maine. The primary low is in Ontario, and the new low on the coast of Maine. Look at that, heavy snow from the Maine mid-coast to eastern Maine tomorrow afternoon, tomorrow evening. And then there's upper level low, and the old surface low is going to kind of meander in here tomorrow night and Tuesday. And so Tuesday, there's Tuesday snow showers, even some squalls, looks like, coming out of New York into Vermont on Tuesday morning. And then Tuesday at 2 o'clock, that's as far out as this goes. That shows another cold front coming at us with a weak low, the old weak low, passing north of New England. So when that happens, usually southern New England warms up and you get some elevation snow showers. That'll be days 4 and 5 in a row of New England snow. And here's the snowfall accumulation forecast. For most of western New England, New York, it's only high elevation. Vermont, the peaks of the Green Mountains there are getting probably about 2 or 3 inches of snow. That'll be the third 1 or 2 inch snowfall in 3 days. But then in Maine, it's serious there. From the Maine mid-coast to down east Maine, we may need a winter storm warning for more than 6 inches of snow there in eastern Maine. So winter's not giving up at all here. Now, if we go to the GFS, and I'm sticking with it for now, but I've been saying I might have to switch to the euro, and tomorrow may be the day we switch to the euro, but for now we'll stick with this GFS, and I'll tell you what's different and why maybe the euro is better now. Here's the GFS with that front combination, warm front, then occluded front, then cold front tomorrow night, and the low finally gets north and east and away. So whenever there's a low to your north, you're in sort of warmer air advection. Then the neutral advection on Tuesday, you have snow showers. And where's that Arctic front we've been talking about for late next week? Well, it's way up there in Canada. Meantime, you have a warm ridge, all those red lines across the central United States. And Wednesday storm kind of just missing to the south. And Thursday, the front is coming at us, but it's not getting here till Thursday night. So Thursday now looks mostly dry, and it's Friday that you have low pressure going across northern New England on Friday with some snow and maybe a mix in central New England. And then it looks like what happened to the low on Saturday? It's not even there. It's off to the west on Saturday. So yesterday it was all snowy and sleety on Saturday. Now that's coming in Saturday night and Sunday. And boy, what a mess there. Blue is snow. And then the reds are sleet and freezing rain, and the warm front eventually lifts north of us, where yesterday that storm was supposed to go off the mid-Atlantic. Now it's going to our north. Oh, are you kidding me? What a dramatic difference. That's huge night and day for the weather on April Fool's Day, which is now 240 hours. That's Tuesday, April 1st at 8 p.m. The cold front has settled back to our south now, but it's a weak front, and you see the 540 line's very close to us, but it is high pressure in southeastern Canada, and there's a whole mess of weather there across the middle of the United States with several low pressure systems from South Dakota to looks like Missouri and all the way down to near the Gulf of Mexico. So that would be a wall of energy coming at us and probably turning warmer. So the change for what happened, I'm going to run this snowfall accumulation over the next 10 days map while I talk about how different it is. So there's our little mix for tomorrow, and then the Wednesday is just rain missing us to the south, so it doesn't really show up much here in the northeast. And meanwhile, look at the northwest, British Columbia, Oregon, and Washington. Feet and feet of snow as it's a parade of storms coming off the Pacific, and most of that snow is trying to trick across Canada. And this makes a lot more sense, though, than yesterday's snow all the way down to Virginia. But the big problem is here next Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, most of that snow is in Canada, so the low is tracking way further north on the GFS run from last night than of the last several nights, and the euro has been consistent. So if the GFS does this again tomorrow, there's our final snowfall there. There's still some purple. We still may end up with some powder skiing, but it's going to be elusive. It's certainly a cold and wintry pattern for the last week of March. And there's the snow. So if no snow for southern New England, by the way, in there. And that makes pretty good sense considering we're going to April 1st. And those April Fool's blizzards don't come along every year. What was it, 97 with the last one? And almost 20 years ago. If the GFS has the northernmost track again tomorrow, I'm going to say that the Euro wins because it has been consistent with that. So we'll see. 24 hours, we're going to maybe switch models here. So that's the end of the weather part. I've lost Steve. Oh no, he loves it over there. This mess, I'm trying to clean up the mess bit by bit. And believe it or not, it was actually calm enough that I had a fire last evening trying to burn the burning bush. Burning bush, when it's green, does not really burn very well. So maybe that's hope that the real tree is alive. That's just the tops I'm trying to clean out. Yep, all this mess has got to go. And Christmas tree is always good to help get fires going. So we'll look at Steve and talk about what we're going to do in our and more from yesterday. Time lapses of trying to replant that bush by myself, and then Juan came over from next door and helped me, and we have that beautiful worm chow soft dirt to use, and we can put the peas and lettuce in now, even though it's freezing outside. I hooked up the hose too, and I'm not worried about that freezing. It may have some ice in it, but it's going to be not a hard freeze in Boston. Going to be soft freezes. Each night this week, there's going to be potential for 30s in southern New England. Time lapse from yesterday, and a tanker went by, and then the setting sun until my phone crapped out at the very end because I left it on the tripod all day long. All right, here's the and more from yesterday. Not in a hurry Sunday, but I think we are headed north, so I'm kind of in a hurry, because I do want to enjoy some of this late March snow. Talk to you tomorrow. Oh yeah, Danny. Danny's in Jackson Hole, Wyoming. He's been chasing this week. Can you see Danny? I just see white. Oh yeah, there he is. Good job, Danny. Thanks for sharing and rubbing it in. All right, Steve likes the wind. T-Rex, want to go inside? Talk to you tomorrow.
You want to go out the door, Rex?
He doesn't even know why. He just knows we're going out for a second. Sit in the sun. It's beautiful. Neutral air advection. It's warming up a little bit. Plane's taking off. Looks like towards the east. Winds from the west. And there's a very colorful barge going by here at low tide on our midday Saturday beauty. Clouds on the horizon, even though there's a front this weekend. Most of our Saturday and Sunday is really nice. Well-timed front, wouldn't you say? Where'd you go, Rex? Want to go for a walk? Of course you do. Pretty. Nice crystal clouds way up there. Budding trees here. Not too windy for a minute. Yay. More than 2 inches of rain this week. Water coming out of the hill a little bit. Up the hill. Things starting to sprout. Is that a sugar maple? How do you know which maples are sugar maples? What's it been, Steve? Maybe about 3 years since they put in that meadow mix seed in here. How's the meadow mix doing? It's a mix. There's a tiny bit of meadow. T-Rex, are you standing in the meadow? Yeah. Great hill. No geese today. They're over at Captain's Cove. And how many thousands of dollars was this fence again? Does it come with any kind of warranty? Better than chain link. 2 o'clock update, back to 59 degrees. When there's a cold front coming at you, it's the warmest. When there's a warm front coming at you, it's the coldest. The warm front's north of us now, magically. I mean, it's just jumped. Speaking of jumping, I'm gonna try and get this Alberta Spruce to jump into the garden. I'd like to see a time lapse of me wrestling with an Alberta Spruce. I thought that they might plant it way down there, but they chose not to, but I might be able to rescue it by rolling it into the worm farm garden. But first I have to dig a hole. All right, so let's dig a hole and wrestle this thing. And watch the clouds move too at the same time. Whoops, hold on, Tim, there. Hold on. Steve, you're gonna trip over the camera there. Steve's tripping over the tripod.
Do you need me to move it?
It is leaning towards this way, but I can do that.
A little further back?
Yeah, like that. But I think we can stake it. We got an audience. Juan came over, he saw me wrestling with a tree. Came over in his sneakers. I'm gonna water the heck out of it, that's right. Yeah, unfortunately the prevailing wind from the west is gonna try and make it lean to the left there. So we'll just push it out a little more. All right, it's in the ground. And we're gonna stake it and tie it off. It's taller than I thought. Right in the sunset view. I don't think the boss isn't gonna like this because it's gonna be right in the way of the sunset. If it lives, it'll get moved again. This is an experiment.
Yeah.
I'm gonna cut it back and see if there's any growth. Thank you.
Welcome.
More hands. Later job. Steve approves. He just wants the birds to continue to play on these bushes.
It looks nice the way it looks anyway.
I think I might take the Christmas lights off it. I think it's time for a trim. Give it a haircut, see if it's gonna live. Gorgeous. I think I just saw a red cat come out the door. We're good 60 degrees, holding steady. Yeah, there's a red cat. We got a red cat sighting. What do you think? Any birds in there? Mito. Birdies are nowhere to be seen right now. All this rearranging of stuff going on. Gotta go and get some cat mint. I don't know if the transplant happened. I don't even know where it is. It's under there somewhere. The animals really love this matting. It's organic. It's gonna be helping to germinate the seeds, and it's gonna be part of the lawn forever. It's just gonna decompose. Probably have to dethatch the lawn at some point. What do you see? Where are the birds? Can you look at the camera? Thank you, Mitt. Handsome. By popular demand, more Mitt. All right, a move was made, an effort was made. Also trying to do forensics on this garden. My goodness, the parts you guys used to hold this rail up. It took me forever to undo, but I'm gonna try and put it back on there, even though this garden is pretty much doomed. Heavy equipment. Oh boy, more parts. And every time I thought I was done pulling out a string of lights, I found another string of lights. How old are these, Doug? Oh my goodness, when did you start stringing lights on this tree? And did you ever take them off once? I give. 5:22, Saturday, March 22, 2025, 59 degrees. We've got the warm front clouds coming at us. I'm still working on cleaning this mess up, and we've got really fun sky waves, little cirrocumulus, usually means there's a big weather system. There is, but it's weakening. Garden hose is out and will be charged this evening. Look at those altocumulus waves over there. Oh, how pretty. So sometimes these warm fronts will surprise you. I'm not sure. I don't think we're supposed to get much rain. I just saw a tanker coming through the Hull gut. I thought it was coming through the Hull gut. I guess it went straight. I was going to make a time lapse of the tanker, but we'll figure something out. I'm not ready quite to call it a day on the videos. There it is. It just disappeared there behind paddocks for a second. All right, so let's make a video. It's about 5:25. See how long it takes that tanker to get here. And I'm gonna have to readjust it when it goes by the green buoy. My camera may run out of energy though. My battery might die. Where did it go? 17 minutes. Whoops. 21 minutes. That was 9 times zoom. Get some sky involved now. 2.9 times zoom. 26 minutes. Let's zoom into the bridge for a moment. Dorado. I didn't look it up. It's a life raft there. Skyscrapers of Boston. This is as long as those skyscrapers are tall. And off into the sunset, a view that we did not have last season until the Weymouth Big Dig came in. We're at 30 minutes since this thing came through the gut. Battery is about to die, so this is it for the day, and then we'll have a time lapse of the whole day just here in Weymouth. Not in a hurry Sunday. Don't want to do a lot of editing. Not sure if I'm traveling or not. Very pleasant day for working out in the yard today, and the hose is going, and we are watering the seed. Those 2 rescue bushes, euonymus